always been a band that wanted to play dance music as a live band, and that's something that we pushed a little bit further maybe on this record, taking more the arrangements of dance music and a bit of the technology to make and bring it into the live forum.
I mean, I wasn't part of the band when they did the first record, but as far as I understand, you did it all live, right? And that was a big part of this record, was recording it live. So it was the four of us, you know, in a room playing as a band, and I think the spirit of that comes across in that album.
Always and always and always ascending, opening line leads an uncertain ending.
On this record, particularly, we did try to push everything further, ideas-wise, and brought in a lot of different sounds and like instruments as well that we never really got to grips with, like Alex's synth collection before. We spent a lot of time with that, and that's kind of reflected in the album.
Yeah, Philippe Zadar from Cassius, who produced the album, had a lot of ideas going into it as well, and it was quite a collaborative record with him. Like, he had a lot of say over like the sound of it and like where it was going and stuff. So, and that was great. Was like spending a lot of time writing and rehearsing, actually. So like we played a lot. Like every day we'd like get up and just play and play and play, because we wanted to go into the studio and record very quickly. So like we ended up doing the whole album in like 6 days in London. Like the basic tracking was like 6 days, and then we went to Paris Motorbase, Philippe's studio, and did a bunch of overdubs and some vocals and things, which was really fun. Like Paris is a great city to record in. So like I think every part of the process felt fun. It was weird coming in, I suppose, to a band that already exists, because like you don't want to. I didn't want to come in and be like, I've learned all the parts on guitar, and look, I can play them. Look, but we actually worked on all the new stuff first. I think we spent a good year working on, or maybe 8 months, close to a year working on Always Ascending, and then when it came time to tour, we got in the studio with Dino. Dino joined the band by that point, and we started rehearsing the older songs. And at that point as well, when Dino joined, it kicked it up a gear as well. So. Yeah.
So if you're lonely, you know I'm here waiting for you. I'm just a crosshair.
It's funny, like as an outsider's perspective, I never really saw Franz Ferdinand as like an indie band, and I think that it was interesting that they were positioned as that when they came out, because there was a big sort of surge of like post Britpop guitar music, but I think Franz have always tried to do something a bit different, you know, and like they've always been all the different albums have a different sound. That like there's always a kind of curiosity to like look for new sounds in the band, and that was one of the things that was exciting for me when I joined. So like I think the bands that do well as they go on are bands that always stay like interested in new sounds and curious about stuff, rather than being like, oh, this thing we did 10 years ago is really good, should we just do that again?
Spain was one of the first places we came to play internationally. We played at, I think, Razzmatazz in Barcelona in 2003, which was pretty early for us, really. It was like Christmas time. And straight away, it just felt really exciting. And that was our first experience of a Spanish audience. And I think that's a large part of it, really. It's kind of when you get that kind of buzz off a crowd, you kind of, you want to go back. So yeah, we've always looked forward to coming back and playing, and probably tried to come back here more often than, because of the crowds, really. It's kind of like some of the best shows we've ever played, really, the best audience we've had. So yeah, you're nice to us, so we keep coming back.